Okay, good. It's picking up. All right, ready? All right. So we are now in preview, and now we are live. So, and good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Eden Casteel of Eden Casteel Music Studio, and this is another video premiere from Holidays. So if you're here and you can hear me and everything is okay, type in the chat for me that everything is going all right.
Clap.
Clap. We can't see the clap, but go ahead. Clap with your fingers, your 10 fingers onto the. So, okay. So what we are here to do tonight is to talk with one of the writers of Holidays, this album that we did. Sorry, we're all both a little tired, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
So Eliza Collins, ladies and gentlemen, is right here from her beautiful living room. You can see the stockings behind her hung with care. Oh, good. Robin says it's great. Well, yep. She's got her red and green on.
My red and green and over white. You know, everything's point set off the side here. You can't see that. Sorry. I couldn't do it. Somewhere there it is.
Oh, pretty.
Yeah.
More than I have. And you just had foot surgery a couple of days ago.
So I had foot surgery on Friday. And because I'm a nice person, I'm not going to gross you all out by forcing you to watch a picture on my iPhone, because you would indeed be grossed out. And I don't want to do that to you.
Thank you.
But I'm going to do it to Eden at another date, because she needs to be intimate with my foot.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
My left foot. That was a movie. Okay.
So,
yes.
So carry on.
Thank you for coming and doing this, even in the midst of recovery. Really appreciate it. So we have 8 songs on this album that were written by 6 of the students. You are one of them. And you have been writing a lot, not only for me, but your career has been as a writer, editor, everything. Can you tell the good people what you've done in your life?
Well, I have been a writer. I've written a couple of novels, which were published a long time ago. And one was a mystery novel that stood out. But that was a long time ago. And I actually had a contract for that, but the publishing house closed down. And then I was an editor, and I wrote articles for the Harvard Business Review and edited other people's articles, and all on subjects that I didn't really care much about. So the editing is a fantastic kit to have in your tool bag. I mean, it really is. I mean, if you can edit words, you can edit anything. And now here I am doing this.
So this is the first time you've done songwriting.
Absolutely. I've written poetry. I have written poetry. And I think there's a lot of poetry that could be set to music as fantastic songs. I mean, Dylan is basically a poet.
Yeah.
So I have written poetry, and I've actually thought down the line that it'll be a fun thing to do, to try to set some to music. But no, this is the first, because I never thought of myself as particularly musical. I've always been a word person, not a musical person, or that's what I thought.
And then you took voice lessons.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we meet? We met at Barker?
We met. I had actually heard about you from a friend of mine who is another singer named Carol Simaluka, and she said she'd heard of you. And then I saw you on the stage at the Barker Playhouse, and glumped up and said, "Can I talk to you about taking voice lessons, maybe something?" And you said, "Sure," and handed me a card, and off we went. And that was what, 2 years ago?
Well, yeah,
at least. Yeah. And the first show we did was that March of 2018.
Yeah.
In the Pump House.
Yeah.
Was that 2018?
Something cool.
Yeah, something cool.
I think so. No, it was 2019, right?
2009.
You started in September of 2018, and then
2019 we did, and at the Pump House.
Yeah. It was great. And it was a jazz thing. And you came up with the title because it was one of a song that you really loved by June Christie, it
was a great old June Christie song that I used to have on an album when I was, in my teens, that I loved, when I loved listening to June Christie and Chris Connor. And I think the thing I loved about those singers, those lady singers, is they always sang things that you never thought you'd be able to say. And they could get away with it. That was the wonderful thing about the performers. They could get away with expressing feelings that you had, but you were never going to say. And And it was really interesting to see people's response to something cool, because so few people had ever heard of that piece of music.
We found the music. It was by Billy Barnes.
Yep.
And you gave me some recordings to listen to, and we created an arrangement just for you.
Yep.
And then it became the title of the show, because it was a great title for kind of a jazz-based show as well. And then in June, you did a 1980s show at my house, 1980s prom. You sang Elton John.
It was prom, and I sang a lot of Elton John and Barry.
Was it Barry White?
That was no, it wasn't Barry White. Sorry. What was that other song? Raindrops on the window. Anyway, I can't remember right now.
Neither of us can remember.
No.
I have no excuse.
Oh, you don't. I do. I have no brain. I am a pig of little brain.
We've done a lot together. Let's put it that way. And so, you've done that, and you've done a bunch of shows. And then even in the pandemic, you switched over to Zoom, and you began to write after that show in that 1980s prom. We realized you had enough material in your life and enough writing skill that you could write your own one-woman show. Yes. So for a year, we worked on My Life as a Failure, which is your one-person show. And then as soon as it was ready to go, and you had it written and a band and everything, the pandemic hit.
Hey, but thank God we didn't do it then, because it was so much better 5 months later when we did do it in your backyard. It was so much better, and it would be so much better again.
Yes.
Yes.
We will get a chance to do it probably, when there's more people getting vaccinated. It'll be great.
Maybe it also, if I haven't finished another thing I want to do instead, but I do want to go back and revisit that, because there was some good stuff in there.
Really was. It was Eliza's life as told through story and song. And it's really funny. So we did end up performing it in my backyard in September in front of about 30 people. And that way we said
50 people?
50. Oh, excuse me. And we got it done. 30 was how cold it felt. It was chilly that night. But it was.
We have it taped.
We did. We have a tape of it. And
edit it.
And rewrite, because Eliza's an editor, so she can rewrite, which is great. And she's willing to do that. Sometimes people are really precious with their work.
Oh no, get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Edit.
Get rid of it until it hits you back.
Very good. Yeah. It's so that's what's happening. You're writing another one right now. The title is, what is our title?
I don't think we have one.
We don't have a title yet, but it's going to be.
I never knew about things you never knew. I knew about sex.
That's our title. So we have a lot of working titles for that. It just kind of changes all the time. And she's
like things you never knew I knew about sex. I think that's fine.
You email me lyrics regularly. I have some students who just email me lyrics, and you're one of them, which is great. And then we start thinking about music. But in the middle of all that, and that show will happen in 2021 as well. So you're probably going to be doing 2 one-woman shows. And then I also said, hey, do you want to do something on the Holidays album? And you said, sure. And you just showed up with Torch Song for Mrs. Claus.
I did. And Torch Song for Mrs. Claus is, in every book you've ever read, in every movie you've ever seen, especially Westerns, there was always, remember the Lonesome Dove? There's always that damn woman sitting in the cabin when everybody else goes off. They go off and they come back and they're grizzled and gray and fatter, and she's still there, worner and more tired. But when I was growing up, the character I always felt the most sorry for was Solveig in Peer Gynt. I mean, that poor young woman and that absolutely idiotic young man. I mean, what a bastard. Off he goes, and she doing all these things to prove himself to himself and what other gypsy gods there are. And she's sitting there back there waiting and waiting and waiting.
Did you know that Edvard Grieg wrote a Solveig song?
Yes, he did. It's Solveig's song to Peer Gynt.
I had to sing that.
You had to sing it?
I sang it when I was a teenager for a competition.
Yeah, of course I know that. I know the whole Edvard Grieg. Yes, of course I know that. And that's part of the thing. Solveig has always been one of my soulmates. She's been a good girl, and she even defied her father, and she went up to the mountaintop to find this wretch who'd gone off for years while she waited. You want to sing Solveig's song?
No.
Okay. Anyway, it's Norwegian.
It is.
And what more? So we think of Mrs. Claus, she's back there every Christmas
Solveig Claus.
year, from the beginning to the end of the year when the workshop is going, and she's sitting there waiting for the day that it's going to be her day with the man in her life. And the only free night he has is Christmas night, when he's come home and he's delivered his packages all over the world, and he's hungry, and she's hungry, and the fire is lit. And you know what happens.
You know what happens.
You know what happens.
I think it's time to show the video.
I think so.
This is Torch Song from Mrs. Claus, performed by Eliza Collins, written by Eliza and me with our band. And our flute player is Stephen Grube in here. So I'm going to get this set up and we will share. All right, nice black screen here. Here we go.
The night is cold, my love. The air holds a chill. When your sleigh flies away, my heart grows still. My heart is warm for you. Follow its shining light. Come home safely, Santa love, and this cold and lonely night. I've sent the fields a packing. Rudolph dreams in his hay. Let's fold arms around each other at the end of this Christmas day. Don't you have a gift for me? Haven't you read my list? Your box lies under the tree. Come open it with a kiss. I've been a good girl. I've been a very good girl. Can I sit on your lap? Can I put my arms around your waist, your commodious waist? Can I help you with those big black buttons? Oh no. Wake up, Santa. Wake up. It was ever thus. The only year I thought we were going to do it. I'm not getting any younger. And this isn't getting any easier. I can barely get off the floor. Please wake up, my darling. Your rocket was a dud, I fear. I'll eat some of your milk and cookies, and we'll try again next year. Oh, God.
Bravo! You are the bravest woman I know.
What's to lose?
Exactly.
What is to lose? If you do, you just try again.
That's right.
That's right.
The internet is forever, but who cares?
Who cares? Hey, truly, what's to be embarrassed about?
Nothing.
One way or the other.
Mhm.
The only embarrassment really is not trying.
Yes. You filmed us in my living room.
Yes, I did.
and it was really fun. And oh, I still have your glass here.
Oh, I was wondering if you had that. There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
Through the washer for you.
Hang on till after, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah. I promise I won't use it that much.
You are allowed to use it as much as you like, for as long as you like, with whatever you like.
Robin says, I'm so sorry for Mrs. Claus. Shock treatment for Santa. Dan says,
Thank you, Robin.
Dan says, what a hoot. So clap, clap, clap. Yeah, it is really
Thank you, Dan.
It is good. And you came in and you said, I'm going to do it kind of Elaine Stritch style.
Yep.
And because that's kind of our model for you.
Yep.
We follow what she does. And so, yeah.
God, you didn't make me lie under the tree, because I'd still be there. Because I honestly cannot get up. Hey, Dan, I'm sorry I couldn't watch your song, but I have just literally recovering from surgery. So I've been in bed every night at 7.
The good news is everybody can see Dan's song and Robin's and everybody else's, because on the album, they can hear them at Eden Casteel Music Studio.bandcamp.com, or they can watch all the videos at my website, edencasteel.com, or of course, right here on YouTube. There's a whole playlist at this YouTube website that has all of them. Enjoy them, share them wherever you like. These are my students, and they worked really hard on these songs and did a fantastic job.
You think I look drunk enough in that clip?
I tried. You tried. I mean, it's ginger ale. We tried.
We tried. It plays.
It does play.
It plays.
I thought you looked great, and I love your expressions on it. It's they're really, really good, and yeah, you're fearless. This is wonderful.
Well, as I say, what have you got to lose?
What would you tell somebody who is thinking, voice lessons, I can't, nobody can change my voice. There's nothing they can do with me.
Well, all I can say is that singing or performing or writing songs and doing cabaret or whatever, it's so much more than just your voice. I mean, your voice, yes, it's important, but it's probably more important that your voice has character than it has purity. I mean, there are a lot of pure voices around. But if you have a story, each song is a story. And if you can inhabit the character of the story, then you're acting part of your life, part of your soul, part of whatever, and then it's over in 3 minutes.
A lot less work than writing a novel.
Much easier than writing a novel, and much more gratifying, really. But you do have to realize you are telling a story. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just can't sing a song with some great words and not act the words. So you do have to be able to just live a little bit for those 3 minutes of performing things. It's getting to say things you never thought you'd be allowed to say.
I think that's been really freeing for all of you. Most places, and we do a lot of cover songs, and there are a lot of wonderful songs in the world. Solveig song, Something Cool. There are so many great songs that are already written, but sometimes it's really nice to have the opportunity to write your very own and to really say what you want to say, even if you didn't realize when you first started writing, what do I want to say? It'll come to you.
Well, here's another thing. If you've ever taken free writing courses, I don't know whether anybody does that, but they're given all sorts of places, and you just go down with a piece of paper and someone gives you a prompt word and you just start writing, and just get over yourself. Just get over the fact that your hand is on the pencil and just see what comes out. Nobody has to see it. Just do it. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, then sing it.
And sing it. Every single one of you did such a radically different song too. And that was exciting, that to make a compilation album, because you all approached it from different angles. We had, a parody of Christmas movies. We had a song about Rosh Hashanah. We had a song about, well, how much does Santa eat when he eats cookies all night long? Just mathematically. Everybody came at it from a different angle. A beautiful kind of a haiku about snow. We had a song about, peace on earth in a tumultuous year. And then we wrote one with Mark Cutler. So we had this wonderful variety. And I think that makes it really exciting for each of you to support each other in this project, because nobody was doing the same thing. You're all doing very different things, but they're all kind of united in that they were your voices and what you wanted to say at the moment.
Yep.
So there's one more song tomorrow night.
Yep.
And that's the song I wrote. So yay, finally. Maybe I'll figure out how to double stream and go.
How are you going to talk to yourself?
Maybe I'll interview myself.
I think you ought to do it. You know, you ought to get another computer so that you have another box up there and go back and forth.
I already hear voices in my head. Yeah.
Oh man.
But I don't know. I think I can probably just like talk. And
I
maybe,
think you probably can.
and maybe it'll be a shorter night. I was actually thinking about that today, and I thought, how do I make it sound less like a Barbara Streisand production?
When are you doing yours tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 8:00 is
That's the last one?
the last one.
Oh, I've missed them all. Well,
Right. Make sure you get all the links. Everybody who's watching, you can all get the links. Where are they again, boys and girls? EdenCasteel.com, right here on YouTube. The album is at EdenCasteelMusicStudio.bandcamp.com. Makes a great Christmas gift.
mhm.
I hear somebody may be giving them as a Christmas gift.
Somebody maybe.
Maybe.
Can't imagine who.
So the singles are $2 each. The album is $8. It will be living on there forever. So if you prefer to celebrate Christmas in March, we got you. But this is an unusual project for a voice studio, but it's one that we all really enjoyed doing. We actually did another songwriting, or another album earlier in the year, and you were part of that as well, 6 Feet from Stardom, which came out in June.
Loved it.
That was in SoundCloud, and you did just one of those things, Cole Porter, right?
I did.
That was
And I loved it. I
So
did something else too, but I can't remember what.
yeah, that was back when we thought that the pandemic would be over by August.
Mm,
So
fun.
looking forward to 2021, you've
Yep.
got the return of your first one-woman show, the writing of your second one. This studio is going to have a couple of other album projects in the first half of the year, and then we will reevaluate kind of where we are. Of course, the hope is that we will have these albums that we will record safely, and then we'll get to go perform the songs live when it's safe.
Yes.
That would be great. That's
We'll have Christmas in May.
Christmas in May. Sounds good to me. Absolutely. So we will see you tomorrow night at 8:00 for the premiere
Bye,
of.
everybody.
Yes, thank you, Eliza, so much for coming here tonight, for being part of the album. for being-
Dad. It was my pleasure.
We'll see you for the 4th of Chris Pat Thankmas Ween. That's the name of it. I know. Say it quickly. Don't. But
No,
it's
don't.
tomorrow night at 8:00 right here on my YouTube channel. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, Eden.
All right.